Howdy, my name's Brett Kingman. Welcome to my little studio in Mount Eliza, Victoria, Australia. This clearly is the Buna Tube Deluxe from Dorna Prince Electronics and Zoran and the crew, made in Croatia. Now, the last time I looked at a Binson Echo 2 T7E on Reverb.com, they were going for about 10 grand for one that actually was in good order and worked, which is, that's getting up there. The Buna Tube Deluxe takes the 2 T7E and its older, bigger rack cousin and puts it all into this wonderful pedal. Instead of 300 milliseconds of delay time, you've got 950 milliseconds of delay time, so 3 times the delay time for starters. And instead of 12 selection slots, you've got 4 head buttons here, which gives you a total of 16. It's got a dual triode tube inside, which is basically the heart of the pedal. That means you're going to need a 12-volt, 800 milliamp power supply unit, which it actually ships with. On the rear of the pedal, I'm just going through all the logistics and the technicalities before we actually have a listen to it, just so you know it's what. You've got a mono input, you've got a mono output, but you've also got a transformer isolated wet output, so you can feed it to a mixing desk or your DAW or whatever you may choose, so you can adulterate or muck around with just the wet output itself if you prefer. Today, I'm running this 59 Custom Shop Strat into the Nobels ODR1 here first, and then into the Buna Tube Deluxe, and it's going to my beautiful Magnatone Twilighter stereo amp, and the clean tone without anything on sounds like this. I've got a couple of Audix i5 mics in front of it, but at the moment you're only hearing the right speaker, so that's kind of irrelevant. Let's switch this guy on and have some fun, huh? So up here, I've got it on 442 milliseconds at the moment. I can tap tempo it because it ships with a little clicker pedal, and there's an expression pedal input on the back as well, which you can use to control all of these parameters if you wish. But today I'm just using it for tap. So I can tap in. There we go, 495. I can alter the input volume, and that's the input volume going to the preamp of the Buna. So you get a thicker sound the more you turn it up. I kind of like it at about 1 o'clock. Then I've got a tone control to, swing the bass to the treble. Pretty subtle. Again, I'm a Goldilocks person, so I like it up in the middle. Then we've got the output volume, which goes from nothing to well above unity. Again, 1 o'clock is usually good for me. Then we've got the delay time, or the decay time, they call it. That's called a swell knob here, and it will only come into effect once you've actually engaged the feedback heads below each of these 4 buttons. So I'm on head number 4, which is at 495 milliseconds. So it's defying the decay time, basically. Next to it is a drum age control, which I find pretty cool. So if I've got it completely anti-clockwise, it's like having a brand new Binson Echo 2 T7E. And then I can make it an old one by winding it up. And it starts to very lightly modulate, because it's old and wobbly. Such a beautiful sound though. And next to it is the delay time, basically, and it goes up in increments of 10 milliseconds. If you press it in, you can make it 1 millisecond increments. In the viewfinder, the little menu LED here, you can actually elect to see BPMs or milliseconds. Now, of course, you've got different subdivisions within these heads. So you can have them all on if you wish. The more you have on, the tone gets altered in the same way that it used to in the original Binson. And then you can engage the feedback heads below each or every one of them. It's just such a gorgeous sound. I have to tell you that I've had this on my desk for days. This is one of the first prototypes too, so I feel extraordinarily honoured to be able to demonstrate it for you. And I know that it's been in the hands of some very famous guitar players, so I hope they're not watching me. But it's just so much fun. Now, if you engage the swell switch here, it kind of taps into the feedback heads and gives you an almost a reverby sort of effect. So you can disengage the actual heads, but it's tapping into the feedback component part. And if I decrease the age of the drum and I've got a lot of oscillation, it will go into self-oscillation pretty quickly. Really good. Now, on board, you can access up to 16 presets just by doing this, holding this guy down, bank A, bank B, bank C, bank D, etc., etc., and there are 4 presets within each of those. If you elect to use the MIDI facility, and it's a very comprehensive MIDI facility, you will have access to 127 presets. So that's pretty cool. Also in the menu, you've got global settings, you've got preamp mode. So if I go to preamp mode, I can elect either original or modern. So here's modern. If I go back to original, modern is just a little bit more lively. It's got a little bit more brightness attached to it. But there's something about the original that I love too. But you have the choice, and that's a great thing. Also, you can elect to use the tube buffered bypass or true bypass, relay bypass. If you have a buffered bypass, you can elect to have tails on or off. Also, if it is in buffered bypass, the preamp section of the Booner will be seeing the amp at all times, which is not a bad thing because it's a pretty sweet preamp. So you can hear the drums speeding up and slowing down. You can do all that with an expression pedal if you like. Let's whack a bit of overdrive in front of it. That cool? Oops, scratchy pot. Yeah, it's great. The Buna Tube Deluxe. I've probably forgotten one feature or another. I could be here for half an hour, but the bottom line is that it sounds bloody amazing. Zoran's been working on this for years, probably 3 years now, I reckon, maybe more. And instead of 300 milliseconds with the two T7E, you get 950 milliseconds with this guy. It's got digital control with a fundamentally analog signal path, much the same as the original, and it sounds beautiful. It looks beautiful too, I have to say. There'll be more information about it on the Dawn of Prince Electronics website. I'll take you back to my little jam. Thank you for watching. Go get one. Bye.